Hi there, thank you for stopping by my channel. So I have a quick little note before we get into things today. The video you're about to watch is actually one that I filmed back in the fall of 2023. It was right before my trip to Australia, and I unfortunately wasn't able to finish editing it in time, so it ended up getting lost in the archives with all my other half-finished projects. Even though it is 2 years old at this point, I still wanted to share it with you because all of these games are very special to me. I do have some newer videos planned, which I'm hoping I'll be able to get to in a more timely manner. I'm really sorry I've disappeared for so long. Frankly, I've had a very terrible year, and right now I'm dealing with organising a move back to Australia, as well as going through a divorce, which I've been really struggling to come to terms with. But I do want to dedicate more time to this channel going forward because I feel like I'm losing a lot of things that are really special to me, America being one of them, and expressing myself through making videos is at least one thing that I do have control over, and I think embracing those parts of my life is probably one of the best things that I can do. So, thank you so much for being here and for being patient with me. It really means a lot. Anyway, here is 2023 Mandy. Hi everyone, I'm Mandy and welcome to my channel. So as we near the end of November, I wanted to share some of the games I have been playing this autumn. I'm really excited because while I did play a few newer releases, I also got to dive into my backlog a little bit and play on one of my favourite older systems too. I also decided to properly replay one of my favourite JRPGs for the first time in over 10 years, which has been a really wonderful experience. All in all, I've had such a fun and comforting time with these games, so I hope you enjoy hearing about them. So the first game I have to share is a PS2 title called .hack Infection. The early 2000s is one of my favourite eras of RPGs, but there are still so many series I haven't played, which is why I was really excited to dive into .hack. This is an action RPG that's sort of like a game within a game. In the .hack universe, there's an MMORPG called The World, and for most of the game you're playing as the main character, Kite's character, in the world. It's really interesting because all the people you come across are also players, so they speak to you in a similar way that real people might talk to you in an actual MMO, but maybe a bit nicer. So the story is about a kid who plays under the name Kite. He's a new player who was introduced to the world by his friend Orca, a veteran player. Now it seems that a virus has been plaguing the game's servers as of late, but no one knows that much about it. To make things worse, there have been rumours that people are starting to experience real-world health issues from playing the game. This is an issue that becomes of great importance to Kite when Orca suddenly falls into a coma after coming into contact with a mysterious in-game monster. So Kite's quest is to use his special hacking abilities to find out what's going on with the world, and to save his best friend. Something really cool about .hack is that you learn a lot about the world and progress the story by reading posts on the in-game community message board. Here you can get leads about what's going on with the virus, find new areas to explore, and also learn more about some of the unique features of the world. I think this was a really cool way to design the game, and I love how realistic the posts feel. As far as the gameplay goes, most of it takes place in dungeons. Each server has a central hub town, and then you can go to a bunch of dungeons by entering different combinations of keywords into the gateway portal. So there's not a lot of world exploration, but I actually think this design works really well. You get Kite to log in, do a dungeon or two, log out, check the message board, log in, continue the story, and rinse and repeat. I thought the story pacing was really good, but the dungeon environments themselves can start to feel repetitive, especially if you choose to do a lot of optional ones. But the game is pretty short, so it's not a huge problem. So yeah, I loved my time with .hack Infection. I think this series is so creative and unique, and even though this is just the tip of the iceberg, I'm really excited to continue the story with Mutation. Next up, we have another PS2 title, which happens to be one of my all-time favourite games, and that is Wild Arms 3. I've mentioned it before, but Wild Arms 3 is very special to me because it was the first RPG I ever fell in love with. I'd been thinking about it a lot lately in preparation for another video I'm working on, so I was really itching to replay it. I hadn't properly played it since I was a kid, so revisiting it now has been really special. So Wild Arms 3 is a turn-based RPG set on a desolate planet called Filgaia that has slowly turned into a barren wasteland. It tells the story of 4 drifters who have been granted special powers from the planet's 4 guardians. With these powers in their arsenal, the party sets off on an adventure to uncover some of Filgaia's mysteries and ultimately prevent it from meeting its doom. Wild Arms 3 has left a really big mark on me for so many different reasons. Virginia Maxwell has to be one of my favourite protagonists ever. She has such a strong heart and sense of justice, but she's not perfect. She is human, and especially when she's beginning her journey, she struggles with a lot of self-doubt and confusion about what her mission in life is. She has this strong desire to go out into the world and do something good, but has no idea what that is or how to achieve it. There's a quote she says that goes, "My wings are in place, yet I have nowhere to fly." And I don't think there's a line I've ever related to more. Her feelings have always struck a chord with me, and that's why playing through the story and seeing how she overcomes those obstacles was always very inspiring to me. Wild Arms 3 also has one of my favourite soundtracks of all time. The town themes are so warm and nostalgic, and the battle themes are incredible. Obviously there's a really strong Wild West influence, and I think Michiko Naruke did a really great job creating a memorable soundtrack that embodies that feeling so well. Also, the vocal songs are phenomenal. I really recommend looking up Wings if you haven't heard it. It's one of my favourite songs ever, and I think it perfectly captures the spirit of Wild Arms. I feel like there's so much I could say about this game. The battle system is also great. The mixture of arms and summons is really fun, and there are lots of upgrades you can do with your weapons, as well as personal abilities to play around with. Also, the dungeon design is amazing. It incorporates a lot of puzzles, which were done really well. Honestly, I adore just about every aspect of this game. Replaying it was naturally an incredibly nostalgic experience, but it also felt very fresh because there were so many things I'd forgotten about. So yeah, I loved revisiting Wild Arms 3, and I'm so happy that it still holds up for me today. The next game I want to talk about is Haiku the Robot, which I played on Nintendo Switch. This one is a metroidvania, in which you play as this adorable little robot who is traversing a futuristic world that is full of machinery that has gone rogue. Throughout the game, Haiku explores the depths of Arcadia, picking up various power-ups and chip enhancements along the way to protect himself against the robots that have already turned. Now, I absolutely adored this game. Right off the bat, I was so drawn to the aesthetic of it. I love robots, and seeing Haiku was like love at first sight. I thought his design was so flippin' adorable. Everything about the game really is so visually appealing to me. I love the colour scheme they went with, and the pixel art is beautiful. But even more importantly, the thing that really hooked me on Haiku was its gameplay. Now, I don't play a lot of Metroidvanias. Usually I gravitate towards more story-heavy games like RPGs and adventure games, but you know, Haiku has really reminded me how much fun other genres can be. It was a surprisingly refreshing experience. Metroidvanias are all about exploring, getting stronger, and powering yourself up so you can return to old areas and do things you couldn't before. And I think Haiku does all of these things incredibly well. I thought the platforming was really fun. It felt very comfortable. So much so that every time I got a new ability, I was excited because it meant I had new tricks and maneuvers I could master. The boss battles were really satisfying too. They could take a couple tries, but the mechanics were really fun to learn, and once I did get the hang of them, it felt really rewarding. Honestly, I can't praise Haiku enough. It was such a smooth and engaging experience. I think it's one I'll definitely want to replay in the future because it is truly so much fun. And finally, for my last game of the season, I have Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly. Coffee Talk is a game that I've talked about here on the channel before. It's one of my favourite indie visual novel type games in which you play as a barista in a fantastical version of Seattle. It's a very relaxed and heartwarming game that takes an interesting look at different relationship dynamics and societal issues. So this is a coffee making sim, but the main focus of the game is the story. All your patrons have their own story arcs, with some of them intermingling with one another, and I think they're all very interesting. Just like the first game, it touches upon some very relevant human issues, but does so in the context of these mythical beings, which adds a very interesting twist to things. Coffee Talk 2 is a direct sequel to the original game, and I think they did a great job expanding on some of the original storylines, while also introducing some brand new characters. I really like Riona. She's a banshee who has big dreams of becoming a soprano singer. I think she has a really endearing personality, and it's interesting to see how she interacts with some of the younger patrons of the coffee shop. There are also lots of returning characters that we get to follow up with, which is great. It really does feel like a continuation of the original game, and so far I've been enjoying it just as much. So those were the games I played this autumn. I feel like it was a really strong lineup for me. I loved every single one of them. Now, in addition to these, I did also play a handful of shorter games during the Halloween season. I had a lot of fun with those ones too. But that's all from me for now. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you next time. Bye!